Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing great. So welcome to our channel. So here we are with one more interview experience. So today I'll be sharing you my interview experience with UST Global Logic. So in this video I'll be sharing you the interview process and I'll be sharing you the interview questions that I have encountered in this video. So this video will be helpful to someone who is looking out for interview process at UST Global, or want to know like what kind of interview questions they can prepare or brush up before taking up an interview with UST Global, or even for every Java developer. This video will be helpful. So coming to the interview process, so there were 3 rounds. So first round was a telephonic round, then there was a second round which was programming and a bit technical round, and then there was a third round which was the manager round. Apart from that, he was asking me a few technical questions as well. So in this entire interview, I was asked the questions on Java, like Java 8 mostly, then on Hibernate few questions, Microservices few questions, REST few questions, and there was few questions on Scrum as well. So this was about the interview process, and believe me, in the manager round he was one of the nice guy that I have encountered in the recent time. The way he asked the question, the way he behaved with me, I really was, it was a very good experience. The manager round, he was a very good guy, and apart from the manager round, the both the technical rounds as well, the interviewers were very professional, very good guys. Then coming to the role for which I have applied, it was for senior software engineer. Location was Hyderabad. Experience 5+ years. Interview type was telephonic plus face to face. Interview day was a weekday, like both the interviews, like one telephonic and two face to face rounds were on weekday itself. Then this was a referral interview, like one of my friend referred me there, which helped me in getting the interview call. So before getting into the interview questions, I would like to quickly give a short introduction of ourselves, like who are we and what we do. So we are a bunch of software engineers who attend interviews and share our interview experiences through these videos. So if you haven't subscribed us, please do subscribe. And if you are watching on the screen, these are the list of companies or MNCs which of which we have already shared the interview experiences. If you are if you are watching this video for the first time, you can visit our channel and you can find many more interview questions as well. And if you haven't subscribed us, I would request you to subscribe, because there are many interviews that are in the queue, which we will be posting them very soon, as because of some time constraints we are not able to post regularly, but we will post all of them. So coming to the first question, like this was a coding questions, like using comparator or comparable interface, and they asked me to code this. So input was like list of days. It can contain any day in it, like Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, but the output should come as like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the restriction here was I cannot use date. So these are plain strings, but I want the output in this format. Like when we are giving the days, it should come in the format as a weekdays, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that. So this was about the first question, and this is very I found it a bit complex here, because it took good enough amount of time for me, and the interviewer was also okay with the time, because even he knows that this was a bit complex question, but somehow I was able to give the answers. So try this. If you are not aware of it, please you can comment in the comment section. Like very soon we'll be starting up one website where we'll be sharing all these complex interview questions answers, so stay updated on that as well. So coming to the next question, it was about like Java 8 features. Like he asked me to explain about all the Java 8 features. So I have listed out all the Java 8 features, and explained them, like when and what we use. Then the next question was on HashMap, like how does an HashMap works internally was the question. So I have explained him like how the HashMap used to work before Java 8 and how it is working from Java 8. But to be honest, the guy himself was not aware of the changes that has happened in HashMap in Java 8. So I have to explain him that how it is working in Java 8 as well. Next question was like how do you create a custom exception. So explaining all the process of creating an custom exception, and there were few other questions as well, like what is exception, what is error, what kind of exceptions we need to handle, on all those things which I haven't included here. So expect questions on that entire topic as well. Then there was again a written question, like he has given me a list of employees and asked me to filter out the employees whose salary is greater than 50. So using Java 8 streams I was able to do this. This was pretty much easy. And one more thing, if you are not practicing Java 8, I would request you to please practice coding questions on Java 8. In every interview you will face these questions. Then there was a question on enum, like how memory is allocated to enum. So I was not able to give 100% answer on this because I was not aware of this, so I was not able to give the answer correctly. Then there came a question on optional class. Then like what is an optional class and when do we use it. So I explained him like what is the optional class and in which scenario we'll go with the optional class. So it is a simple question only. Then there came a question like what is stream API and when do we require the stream API. So explain him with the real-time examples, like he asked me the coding question, right? So I took the same example and I explained him this concept as well. Then there came the question like what is the difference between the collection API and stream API. So I was not completely aware on this, like I couldn't list out all the differences, but I was able to list out few major differences here as well. Then came the question what is the difference between map and flatMap stream operation. I was able to explain him like what is map, but never got a chance to work on flatMap. So I said the same thing, like I am not aware of what is flatMap. Then there was a question on Hibernate lazy loading. So he was very deep, like the discussion went on like 15 to 20 minutes on this, like what explain about the loading in lazy loading in Hibernate. And apart from this there was questions like what is Hibernate, why do we go for Hibernate, what are the advantages using Hibernate over other ORM frameworks. Then next question was like how transaction management is done in your application. So I explained him the concept of transaction management in my application, like what we are doing. And there was counter questions as well, like why we are doing in that way, why not in that way. So I was able to explain that as well, because usually the architects takes the call here, we have to go with them. So explain the same thing. The next question was explain the various ways to perform transaction management. So explain him there are two ways which we can do. So explain both of them, like and explain him like in which scenario I will go with what as well. Then came the questions on exceptions on microservices, like how exceptions are handled in microservices. So this is a very big concept, to be honest, like how we are handling the exceptions here. So if you're not aware of it, you should go with that. You should try googling this one, because there is a good concept behind this exceptions handling in microservices. Then there was a question like in microservices, when a given service is deployed on different machines and on one machine the service fails randomly, how do you identify that machine. So this is one of the tricky questions. So like how do you come to know that from a certain machine that service is failing, and that service is failing randomly, not every time. So this is a bit complex question. If you are not aware of it, please google it. You will find good what I can say, good explanations on this, how to handle. There are different ways, you will like it. Next question was what problem does microservice solve. So it was a pretty much straightforward answer. So I have explained like what problems we used to face in monolithic design. So it was a pretty much easy for me. The next question was what are the difficulties you faced while developing or deploying the microservices. Yeah, there is pain, like everything has an advantage and disadvantages. So explain him the same thing, like what advantages we are getting and what are the disadvantages as well, like what are the challenges I faced. Then the next question was what do you mean when we say that APIs are stateless, and what is the advantage or disadvantage of it. So explain him the concept of statelessness of APIs, like REST APIs, and there are both advantages and disadvantages as well. So explain him the same thing. Then the next question was what are the different methods in REST, explain to you when to use what. This was very simple question, to be honest. So explain him all the four or five methods that I have used. Then the next question was how do you handle session in microservices or in your application. So explain him like how we are handling or maintaining the session of a user who logged in. So there was again big discussion on this, like why we do use so and so cache to mention the session and all those things. Then the next question was what is the REST template and what are its uses. So explain him the uses of REST template. Like basically when you are communicating with one to one services, like different services, then we will use of REST template. Then the question explain Spring Boot advantages and disadvantages. So explain him. This was also a straightforward question and simple question. Then there was a question as what all annotations have you worked on. So listed out all the annotations that I have remembered at that time and explained him like in which scenarios we will go with what. So these were about the technical questions. Then the manager question start, like manager round questions like what all scrum ceremonies you follow and what is story slicing in scrum, what is most challenging work that you have done, and I have explained him all these things. So then this was a bit tricky question. Are you fine to work on legacy technologies? When he asked me this question, like I was like, are we? I straightforwardly questioned back him like, are we using? Do you people use legacy technologies? Even though I know they are not using the legacy technologies, because this was a referral demo and my friend informed me about the technologies as well. But I just what I can say acted as if I don't know the technology. So and I said, oh, I don't have any problem as long as I'm facing as long as I'm seeing challenges here. I don't have any problem with any technologies. So these were the questions that were asked me as part of the interview process here. So coming to the feedback of the interview, I am very positive on the way they have handled the interview. Very professional guys, very good guys, to be honest. Like salary offer was what I can say, like even though I was having an offer with Wells Fargo for 16.5 lakhs, even they released the same offer, so I was not able to join there. So salary offer was 16.5 here. Interview conducted month was Jan. So this was about the interview process at the company. And if you haven't subscribed, please do share, subscribe, so that this might help someone who is looking out for similar kind of interview process. So this was all about the UST global interview experience, and thank you for watching.
Why do we ask our viewers or subscribers to share our videos? The reason for starting this channel was to share real-time interview experiences. A few years back, when we were trying to switch our company, we were not finding out a perfect answer like what is the interview process at a respective company, or what kind of interview questions we may encounter in the interview at that company, or how much salary we can expect there, like how much we can say, like what we can expect there. So we were not finding it on any site. Even on the sites like Glassdoor, we were not able to find the complete picture there. So we have started this channel, and why we ask you to share is, and we believe that there are many other like us who want to know like similar kind of things. So if you share this video somewhere, someone will get an idea on the interview process or type of questions they are going to encounter in the interview, and how much salary they can expect there. So that is the reason we ask you to share our videos. Why do we ask our viewers to share subscribers? The reason for asking is that there are n number of interview questions that we have already shared, and there are many other interview experiences or interview questions which are there in the queue. If you subscribe us, you will not miss any of the updates that we are publishing. And one more thing is, like, we are working with different members, like with our friends who work on different technology stack like .NET, DevOps, AWS, Salesforce, and very soon we will be sharing the interview experiences of on those technologies as well.